From the Convergence Studio in the School of Communication, this is Loyola News Chicago.
Hello and welcome to Loyola News Chicago for our final newscast of the semester. I'm Victoria Cervnak.
And I'm Sean Mayberry. Here's the latest news. As the year winds down, departments all over Loyola are honoring their seniors as they get ready to graduate and go out into the world. The School of Communication held its first senior showcase to recognize their hard work. The displays included video or audio projects, websites and blogs, advertising and public relation campaigns, and published articles. For many seniors, this is the culmination of several years of dedication. Some seniors shared their favorite memories of their time at Loyola.
My favorite class has probably been my game studies class. We get to play video games all the time, but it's hard to tell. I've enjoyed a lot of things here.
My favorite memory from Loyola, that's a tough one. I would have to say it'd probably be one of my 10 to 11 hour days coming to class and then going straight from class into Jim's editing room, either to edit a piece for the newscasting class or the SPJ video that I worked on.
My favorite memories occurred at the Loyola Phoenix, where I worked for the news section for all 4 years. I went up to assistant news editor, and I'm currently the news editor.
I'm excited to graduate, but it'll be sad. I'll miss this place.
This is the first time you've seen Nathan in front of the camera this semester, since he's usually behind the scenes as our director.
And Sean, we want to recognize you on your award for outstanding service in social justice. Congratulations.
Thank you, I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. And besides Sean, we salute other members of our Loyola News staff who won high honors. Our own Kristen Tometz is the outstanding senior in journalism, won an SPJ Leadership Award, and is graduating summa cum laude. Nathan Babinchak, our director, is graduating in the university's honors program and won the Jim Gibbons Memorial Scholarship. And as we mentioned a moment ago, Sean Mayberry was recognized for outstanding service in social justice. A big shout out to our award-winning staff members. Graduation is just around the corner, and the upcoming commencement ceremonies will feature a full list of speakers. Some of the big-name speakers will include Chicago Blackhawks president John McDonough, who will speak at the School of Communications graduation, and Cook County Sheriff Tom Dart, who will speak at the College of Arts and Sciences graduation. Most of the graduation ceremonies will be held May 12th through the 14th, but the School of Law's graduation will be held May 21st. The Stritch School of Medicine's graduation will be held later on June 5th.
As graduation approaches, there's a three-letter word that may be haunting some seniors: job. Ashley Barnes has information on how some seniors went to boot camp to get their job search in shape.
On a gloomy Monday after holiday break, what great way to spend your time rather than learning how to find a job. The day started off with registration and yummy snacks, with different stations for graduating seniors to go and see exactly what it takes to find a job. During this all-day event, there were different informational sessions on internet searches and other useful tips on exactly how to get a job, if you didn't mind spending some time in Gavin Hall.
The Job Search Bootcamp was a great way for graduating seniors to find out information on how to start your job search. It was also great to find out about mock interviews and also a little bit about grad school. But the Career Development Center wants to point out that there's no one piece of information that can help you when you're starting your job search.
You know, I would love to boil it down and say, here's the one thing, but that's simply not true, other than to say that a job search is really a lot of work.
It was also important to point out that internet searching is not what it used to be.
It's not as easy as just getting a resume done, throwing it online, and waiting for the employer calls. And so sometimes that's the hardest thing for new graduates, is really coming to terms with how much it actually takes to get a job.
And this event truly showed graduating seniors how much work and effort it could take to get a job. But now they're prepared and ready to start their job search. And if you need help with your job search, the Career Center is open and still has its walk-in hours. Ashley Barnes, Loyola News Chicago.
After May 4th, the Career Center will be available by appointment only.
A report shows renters have been paying more than normal for rent due to a sharp increase in the demand for rental units. The Joint Center for Housing Studies of Harvard University warns that many households are spending more than half their pre-tax income on rent and utilities. Nationally, 1 in every 4 renters is spending up to 1/2 of the monthly income of rent and utilities. While in Chicago, the number increases to almost 1 out of every 3 renters, compared with a little more than 20% in 2000. The findings are troublesome because renters have less money to spend on health insurance, food, or be able to save for retirement.
Spring is here, or so we're told, and one of Loyola clubs is preparing for the upcoming warm months. Kirsten Boehm shows us how the Growers Guild is reshaping Loyola's with sustainable landscaping.
Loyola students are taking up a growing trend, that is, a literal growing trend, through the initiatives of the Growers Guild, an on-campus club that has been helping urban-dwelling students find a balance between concrete and agriculture since last May.
I just think it's a really cool idea, and I think it's a good way, especially for people in urban areas, to get involved with the environment and their food sources.
Focusing on sustainable landscaping, the students are applying a proactive approach to green space across campus, edible landscaping. Concentrating on the newest addition, Loyola Garden, this form of landscaping places species of plants that produce vegetation, like the 100 sapling fruit trees granted to the club through the Arbor Day Foundation, to maximize the productive value of limited green space in the city.
The whole urban agriculture movement, you're trying to, put stuff that can grow here and make it sustainable, and so you want to put things that are native, they'll just grow better.
Before bigger projects were possible, Guild President Elias Mahide started last year with the Victory Garden, a successful container garden on the merged terrace where vegetables were grown and also will be this season. Once numerous across the U.S. during the World War I and World War II eras, the Victory Gardens helped compensate for food shortages.
At one point, Victory Gardens supplied 40% of the produce for the U.S. during World War II. So we were inspired by that it is possible for us to garden in the city and grow our own food.
April showers bring May flowers, and with a little bit of sunshine, the edible landscaping around campus should be blossoming soon, like this juniperberry tree behind me, whose sweet little red berries come around in the middle of June and have traditionally been used in pies and in jams. The club wants everyone to benefit from their local products and encourages anyone coming through to take what they need, especially since the average produce travels 1,500 miles and loses vitamins with every step.
I like to think of what's the grand vision of an edible landscape, and that's imagining a campus where all the trees are apple trees, cherry trees, and we have grapevines, kiwi vines growing all over the walls, and students, staff, faculty, the community are all engaged in the campus, working together, taking ownership of the plants.
These efforts have placed Loyola at the top of the sustainable urban agricultural movement, as no other Chicago university or college has the amount of space dedicated to edible landscaping. Kirsten Boehm, Loyola News Chicago.
The Growers Guild will be active through the summer and is looking for volunteers to help around the gardens. But if you just want to grab a bite from one of the edible plants, check out the interactive Google map online to see where plants are located and even what they look like.
Coming up, find out how Loyola students shake up Shakespeare with texting.
And even if you're not a wizard, you can enjoy the Muggle version of Quidditch right here on campus.
Do you like this top?
It's so gay.
Really?
Yeah, it's totally gay.
You know, you really shouldn't say that.
Say what?
Well, say that something's gay when you mean it's bad. It's insulting. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, "Oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top"?
Oh, you are.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
I got no pulse, so losing.
He's in beefing.
Shocking. Tries it real all the time. Just had a few drinks. This can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear. We just buzzed. Just buzzed? You didn't tell us that, sir. You're right. This isn't happening. He'll be fine.
I feel good.
Really? No, not really.
Buzz driving.
Clear.
Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Shocking.
There was much ado about something at Loyola's annual McElroy Shakespeare celebration at the Mulliday Theater. Raven Iska shows us how this year's theme had a modern twist.
The 20th annual celebration explored the topic of adaptation, showing various performances of Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. Shakespeare expert from the University of Western Ontario guided Loyola audience members through the various historical aspects of creating Shakespearean performances.
Also functions to control or limit the perceived excesses of performance by privileging certain kinds of fit between text and performance.
The performances at Milady displayed various interpretations of Much Ado, ranging from Old English to more contemporary scenes, such as a 50s hair parlor. This year's event also provided a special opportunity for Loyola students to get involved. A faculty panel chose pieces by students Veronica Hawkins and Daniel Moiseco. Hawkins' piece really reflected modern times, rewriting Elizabethan language into text message form. Despite the theme of adaptability, Professor James Knapp offered another explanation for Shakespeare's longevity.
That what has made Shakespeare endure is the language, and so the language has a special character.
The event happened just in time for Shakespeare's birthday, showing that his work is still resonating with performers and audiences 447 years after his birth. Raveni Kaza, Loyola News Chicago.
Along with the performances of their scripts, the students with the winning entries also got cash prizes. Shakespeare's birthday was this past Saturday, April 23rd.
President Obama is helping Oprah Winfrey wrap up her syndicated talk show in style. Obama and his wife Michelle arrived home in Chicago Wednesday to appear on one of the final episodes of the Oprah Winfrey Show. The talk show host and Obama supporter is ending her top-rated TV program on May 25th after a quarter century on the air. Her interview with the Obamas is scheduled to be televised Monday.
Here's Brittany Arnold with the latest in sports. So Brittany, how are the Ramblers doing?
You know, it's been quite the roller coaster for the Ramblers this weekend, so we have a lot of news for sports. The Loyola softball team swept Wright State this weekend, giving them 6 straight wins. The Ramblers clinched its series over Wright State this weekend with an 8-0 victory. But the winning streak didn't last very long. The women suffered a 4-0 loss at DePaul on Tuesday night. The women are looking to get back on track when they head to Northern Illinois on Thursday for a doubleheader at 4 p.m. They will also be playing a 3-game series at Butler this coming weekend, April 30th through May 1st. The men's volleyball team started its playoffs with a victory. The Ramblers took home court advantage in the first game of the playoffs, hosting rival Grand Canyon on April 23rd. Their 3-0 victory has prepared the men for their next matchup with Quincy in Alumni Gym on April 27th. This could be the last game played in the historic gym, and the Ramblers have a record of 20-7 for the season. While Chicagoans were stuck with rain over Easter, some students got to spend the weekend in sunny Florida. Loyola's women's golf team captured 3rd place at the Horizon League Women's Golf Championship in Howey in the Hills, Florida. They lost to Midwest competitors Butler and Detroit, but beat Cleveland State and Valparaiso. And in other sports news, the men's basketball team signed its first recruit under new coach Porter Moser, a 6'5" forward from Missouri. That's it for sports.
Thanks, Brittany.
You're welcome.
A world of wizards and mystical spells is taking over the Loyola campus in the form of the Harry Potter game known as Quidditch. Mike Bira shows us how Loyola students are picking up their brooms and competing.
Students are putting down their Harry Potter books and making the fictional world somewhat of a reality. Technically, the real-life version of the game is called Muggle Quidditch, since human limitations restrict players from flying on their brooms. The game is growing in size with 200 colleges across the country participating. The Loyola Quidditch League formed a year ago through its founder, Loyola student Marianne Zalnowski. The current league, which starts in mid-February and ends in mid-April, has 6 teams competing. The Prisoners of Azkaban are practicing just before the season is wrapped up with a playoff tournament. They believe the word about Quidditch is getting around campus.
People are definitely interested in it, and there's a lot of like, are you serious? It's Quidditch, that's awesome.
This co-ed game is played with buckets that hold up a hula hoop at each end of the field. The score, the chasers throw a quaffle, which in this case is a dodgeball through the hoop. Beaters are players with bludgers, or small wiffle balls, and their job is to hit the chasers to keep them from scoring. Each team has a keeper who defends the hoop. in order to keep the other team from scoring. The different Loyola Quidditch teams play at fields, like here at Mertz, or the field behind the Gentile Center. The game is described as a mixture between dodgeball, handball, and rugby, and yes, it can get physical. At the end of the game, the snitch or player wearing all yellow is released onto the field. They are neutral, and it's up to each team's seeker to catch them and end the game. It's a game with many twists and turns.
A lot of like really awesome moves, like chasers leaping over the bludgers, like leaping over the bludgers.
The Quidditch League is also a place for Loyola students to bond, gain friendships, and to just share their interest in Harry Potter. Mike Byra, Loyola News Chicago.
The snitch that Mike mentioned is usually someone from the cross-country team, so they're often really hard to catch. Sean, I'm such a huge Harry Potter fan, but I don't think I'd ever be able to play Quidditch because I'm so slow.
Oh, it's hilarious seeing them run around campus on brooms.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
That's our news for now. Thanks for watching.
And on behalf of us from the Loyola News Chicago, have a great summer.